Okay, hi everyone. Welcome to the June Akri community meeting. This meeting will be recorded, so if you don't consent, hop off or hop off camera, and we'll be abiding by the CNCF Code of Conduct. Um, so we don't have too much on the agenda today. I guess I did want to call out that Johnson, one of our maintainers, has announced his retirement, which is really exciting for him, but we should probably talk about how we're going to handle all the issues and, upcoming features with lower resources. Um, so yeah, just wanted to put that on everyone's radar. So I guess first we can maybe do the metrics readout. Ethan, if you've prepared those, I know you said you were going to. If you did, it's okay though.
Okay, give me 1 second to share the screen.
Okay.
Okay, can you guys see it now?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right. For the GitHub repo traffic, it's pretty much stable. Very similar to what happened last month. We have slightly less GitHub clone, but it's still pretty similar to last month. Um, Active issues remain to be 46. There's no new issue opened and no new issue closed either. I'm monitoring the three latest online videos. So three of them are all having some views from the audience, but not too much. Um, the Slack channel members are still the same, 304 members. That's the same with last month. And then for the package distributions, we're seeing that it's really shifting to the latest version, which is 12.20. And based on the feedbacks I got last time, I divided into both. I record both for the controller and agent. So both of them are getting 800 plus downloads for the last month. Uh, and the As for now, we are still seeing lots of download from the 12.9 version 12.9, and I think that is because this is the uh, last version that we still have the architecture label, like AMD 64 or ARM 64. So customer who still use that tag to pull the image will continue to grab this version. Okay, so yeah, that's the main metrics for this month. Any questions?
Thank you for the readout. So yeah, it seems like we have a little more video views after, you put them on the doc, so that's good to see. Um, does the unique repository visitor, is that just the same, you said?
Yeah, yeah, it's basically the same. And the unique clone was 40 something last month. So it's not a big drop.
I see.
Does that mean we had 168 unique people visit our repository over the past 2 weeks?
Yes. Okay, I guess back to you, Eugene.
Awesome. Thank you, Ethan. Um, yeah, I guess the next thing would be KubeCon proposal ideas. Um, to be honest, I didn't have too many good ideas, but one was I started writing a proposal on this Azure Mech App Accelerator because it's basically a fully open source solution accelerator for writing applications for, private networks or things like that. So hold on, let me share this talk. And essentially my thought process was that the KubeCon conference Edge track is now called connectivity track, and it, includes networking, telco, that sort of thing. So we thought that maybe we might have a better chance at getting into the main conference if we combined kind of the topic of Edge with more, networking bits. So I thought the Mech App Accelerator was kind of a good combination of that since they already have, a working implementation. So, I probably wouldn't need to do too much additional work implementing anything. Um, I can put a link to the Mech App Accelerator here as well. So I know that it's probably less likely to get accepted if it's both Microsoft speakers, but this is just an idea that I had. So, uh, any thoughts on this one? And it's also great because this uses a lot of other CNCF technologies like K3s, Dapper, and etc.
Hmm. So, if I understand the use cases that you have on the edge, the basically the messaging and the an Akri to detect the devices, and the like AI inferencing is done in the cloud or also on the edge.
Also on the edge because it's like a low latency application. So it's like an event-driven architecture. So the pure open source architecture here is like all on the edge. Uh, yeah. So yeah, as you said, Akri will do the dynamic provisioning of the cameras across, different networks, and then we have apps that would provide like real-time alerts.
That's
Do you
pretty
know
nice.
anyone, sorry, do you know any customers who are using this? Like, it seems like this would be a good option for a case study CFP. I know they sometimes have that category.
That's true. I should ask that team um, if they have customers. That's a good point. Generally, when you do a case study, like, do we need to have someone from the customer as a co-speaker, or it doesn't really matter as long as I guess it's probably better to have them as a co-speaker.
I think if it's a true case study, the customer is there representing what they're doing. If you're giving a presentation, you can always do a call out saying this, if you've gotten permission from the customer, of course, to say like, hey, this customer is using this in production. But to me, that's less of a case study and more of a like bow tie on the end to say this works.
Got it. Okay, yeah, I'll reach out to the team and see what we can do. Anything else on this one? Okay, and then I had this Akri plus spin cube idea because skip spin cube is the big new thing, and I thought it would be cool to do some kind of demo with Akri, but I wasn't sure, so I've been brainstorming with Joe from the Azure Upstream team. Um, and I think we were both kind of just investigating like what's there. At first I was thinking like the WASI and N stuff, but I think right now we would need to like implement that before like using it with SpinCube. Like we could use it with just the WASI and then the I think it's in we put David's version into wasn't time? I forgot. But anyway, so we were investigating like what kind of AI services were, available in Spin already that we could maybe use with SpinCube. And I wanted to ask you, Kate, if you had any, knowledge on this, or ideas. And also potentially if you or anyone else from Fermion might be interested in doing like a CFP together. I don't know if you guys are planning to be at the KubeCon.
Yeah, on the AI side, Spin has built-in support for using LLMs. So that's obviously, you're probably looking for something more to do with IP cameras with WASI-NN, right?
Yeah.
So there's not yet support for that. But I could see we do have an MQTT trigger. So like you can trigger a serverless WebAssembly function with MQTT. So one thing that could happen, I can imagine, is a demo where there's some device that uses MQTT that publishes like updates to a topic, and Akri discovers the device, so now you can see it's in your cluster. And with SpinCube, when you do resource requests, you could request that device. Um, I will be curious what happens from there. Like I don't know, or I guess Akri doesn't have support for MQTT yet, do we? I always forget that we talk about that, but we haven't. Do we have support for
We
MQTT?
we have well, there is an MQTT discovery handler, but it's not in tree. So
Okay, that's fine, right? If we think it
Yeah.
works. Because aren't we moving towards wanting discovery handlers to be out of tree anyways?
Yeah.
Um, well, yeah, just kind of saying that that could somehow inform SpinCube which topic to subscribe to through resource requesting in Akri.
Yeah.
It'll be a little weird, where we would need to pipe that through so that the spin up process connects to the topic. Um, but I do think that could be an interesting demo. I think it would be hacky enough that it maybe wouldn't be done on released versions of things, but not too hacky to the point where we couldn't do it. Um, but yeah, I think I could see an MQTT end to end. Trying to think of other ones that would be interesting. I think we could probably do something with OnVIF too.
Well, something maybe a bit more complicated, not using cameras, would be to basically just, well, just have some kind of microphone, USB microphone detected by Akri, and get it to spin some kind of speech to text system and feed that to the spin LLM.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, that's a cool idea.
I haven't ever used USB devices with WebAssembly like components. I'm assuming we could just provide file access to the dev node and we'd be fine, but it might not be that simple. Um, so that would be the first step there, is figuring out how to expose that resource to the component.
Yeah, I was thinking that something like a USB microphone would be easier because, well, it's something you usually do in, well, in a web browser. So I guess there should be some way to do it in WebAssembly too.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I think that could be a reasonable one as well. Um, I think that the USB one we could probably, or I could probably figure out today kind of a way of accessing it. Just pull down my microphone and plug it in and see if I can get access to it. CFP they're due on the 9th. Okay. I would definitely be down to participate in this one. But also if you and Joe are on it, Eugen, I can be support team for it too.
I think we were thinking, Joe was saying that he could, support with, making the demos, making it all work, and, maybe me and you could present. So we have Microsoft Army on representation.
Cool. Yeah, I'm down. Let's do it. That
Okay.
doesn't also prevent, you could also submit the ME, the mech one as well, if you wanted to double whammy. But yeah, I'm planning on being in Utah, so
Perfect.
might
All
as well launch it.
right. Awesome. Okay, I'll ping you offline then.
Cool.
All right. Anything else on KubeCon proposals? Nicola, I don't know if you wanted to submit any of the older ones that didn't get accepted or recycle like the Q1 Edge Day one, but
Well, I'm not sure to recycle the one we had in Edge Day in Paris. I don't think worth it because, well, with all the announcements around the array not going in the same direction that we took there, it may take some non-trivial amount of work to get it working with the latest versions of the array. So maybe postpone that a bit. But on the other hand, I have probably a CFP that will be brought by its some kind of case study. So we'll see what goes there. But I should be involved in it somehow. So we'll see. I'm not sure if I'll be in Utah. It will mainly depend of how trial budget goes for this. So
Sounds good. Were there any other topics that people wanted to bring to discussion?
I had something.
one quick. Oh,
You can go first, Nicholas.
okay. My a quick topic is I see we have quite a lot of issues that goes into the stale state because we are not that much active as well. So maybe we could extend that period because I don't think we want all those issues closed, and maybe it's the uh, maybe they get closed too fast for the uh, the reaction time we have. So I don't know what are your uh, reaction on this, but I kind of feel weird that we have so many issues that get marked as stales and then get closed because we just don't look at them.
Should we just remove the stale bot?
Yeah, probably. We don't have that much issue, that many issues that get filled, so maybe it doesn't make much sense to have the state bot for now.
Yeah, it seems reasonable to me.
I think when we added it, it was out of curiosity, and I think we can remove it with decisiveness. It hasn't been super helpful, but I do like that it triggers my memory. It's like, oh, that's still a thing. So that has been nice, but that doesn't need to be the way that I remember what issues we have. So um, I think just removing it, especially if we want to use it to keep track of long-term goals and such, it's nice to not have all issues be problems that go stale.
So maybe I'll try to look how we can disable this. I don't know if I will have all the necessary access for this because some of these actions usually need to, you need ownership of the repo, not just maintainership of it. So if I don't find the way, I'll ping you and we'll see that way.
Sounds good.
The thing I wanted to bring up is a security issue that someone found at Microsoft on a different team. They I guess found it with like a tool or something and notified us. And basically it has to do with like that the Akri container is mapping containerd.sock into it from the host. So like anyone on the container can get full access of the node, can full control of the node. And it happens in the like slot reconciliation when yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I think we have an open issue for this.
Oh yeah, we do already. Okay. I'll take a look at that issue then. Is uh, I guess is there a thought about how to deal with it, or I mean I can look at the issue, I'm sure it explains.
what we know so far.
The main idea is to either get rid of the reconciler because we go to the array, or in the agent refactor PR, I actually try to just change the way we do the slot reconciliation so that it doesn't need the containerd socket anymore. But this needs extensive testing to ensure that it still works the way we want it to.
I posted an issue in the chat that I found. Is that the issue you're
I put it in the message right before.
Oh, I see. Oh, I see. Thanks.
Yeah, I think obviously the DRA one's farther into the future, so hopefully the changes in the refactor of the agent can be the way we do it. What are the best ways we can extensively test that work, do you think, Nicholas?
Well, slot reconciliation usually, well, is difficult to kind of ensure it works properly. So I guess that I don't think it has any blatant issue because it would get caught by the well, basically by the end-to-end tests. But I think it just needs some maybe real try well, yeah, real live tests so that to ensure that there's not something that goes that is time sensitive or something similar that we didn't have with the containerd approach, because basically the difference is now the slot reconciliation ask the kubelets for what is the expected what is the current resource usage of the node so that it reconciliates the instances. And before we were asking containerd for everything that's running, so there may be some timing difference between when does the resource get put in or removed from that list. So maybe there's some tweaking there that might be needed for slow launching containers or uh, slowly killed containers that may well that may trigger things that were not happening with the containerd way of doing things.
But we reconcile on a loop. So if there's a delay, we would catch it on the next one, right? Or but there still might be a performance decrease, which is inevitable.
Yeah, or the delay may be in the other way. Like we catch things before we did in containerd. See, for example, if the kubelet removed the resource before the container gets fully killed, so maybe we would remove mark the slot as free before we did with containerd, and then mess things up.
I hope it doesn't do that. That seems not like a great choice on the kubelet side of things. But we could look at the kubelet manager implementation and see if it does it, what order it does that in.
Yeah, I don't think there will be any issue, and I try to keep the same, well, to be quite conservative in deleting the slots, because I think we rather want them to be freed later than too soon. So I guess that we could try and well, probably the best way would be to just have the PR merged, so that we have a development version that is tagged, that, well, not tagged as a release, but that we have a development version chart that we can deploy and test with it more easily, and that there's more people trying it. And in this refactor, I did not yet remove the containerd socket, because in the Helm chart, because I think it's uh, as it's a big refactor, I didn't want to add refactoring the Helm chart as well. So this maybe I can add this at the same time, or we do it in a second step, as we want.
I think in a quick follow-up PR makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, I saw that you addressed most of the comments I had on the PR. I know that I hadn't fully reviewed the code even at that point, though. So I would like to get back to reviewing it. I'm not sure, especially with the CFPs this week, that this week will be the week for that. And I'm out a couple days the next week. But maybe you can bug me on it, because I would like to get that in. So like over the next few weeks, try and see if we can get a full review of that in if I'm not taking a look at it.
Okay. I'll leave you this week because CFP and everything, and I'll be pretty much busy as well, trying to prepare for SuzuCon. That is in 2 weeks. So I think I'll ping you next week if I to as a reminder, like in maybe middle of next week, if there's if you didn't send anything.
Yeah, or maybe even after SusaCon, if we think that'll give us a better back and forth cadence.
Okay.
Um, I'm gonna look up SusaCon. Okay, June 17th. Okay. I'm just putting some stuff on my calendar. Cool. So hopefully by the end of the month, we can have that in.
All right, any other topics? Should we do a quick issue triage? Sure. All right.
Oh, some of these are issues that got closed because of stale, and I
okay.
reopened them. Like the first one, the dependency license check, something I think we already discussed at some point.
Yes.
Yeah, this one we need to like move our discovery handlers out as part of it.
They are probably
But
just fine to ask for an exception for this dependency. Yeah, because overall it's not in the main component either. And even if we still keep it under the project umbrella, it will still need this license
so
exception.
I would just put it in backlog.
Yeah.
I think we need to, on the next one, we need to do a lot better job on addressing these REST security ones. Like if anyone wants to pick up issues, these are usually pretty quick to just go in and see how we're using it, if we're using it in a way that is vulnerable, and resolve it if we're not, and bump a version if we are. Just because we've got a lot of these and it's a really quick way to contribute to the project.
Yeah, this one is also quite old and got staled, closed, and I reopened it in like I think it was a week or two ago. And if I remember correctly, I wonder if there isn't already some kind of PR that solves it. No, no, because it would have the update PR already get merged. So, okay.
All right. I guess, should I move this one to backlog as well? If no one wants to take it right now.
I feel like it's investigating because we don't even know if we're affected by it still, right?
Yeah. Or at least we don't remember and we didn't put any comments about it.
Yeah.
Same, this one got closed and I reopened it because it's still valid.
I would just put help wanted and put in backlog.
There's just one example, I guess, if I remember correctly, that needs this because I did one already when I revamped the build system. There was one that was just I bumped the version, it still built and it worked, so it was okay. But the other one needed some work, and I don't know much about .NET, so
Yeah, these are both probably just reopened ones, right? We can put this in here.
I can go in backlog.
And as for these ones that have been assigned to Johnson previously, we can reassign them or yeah, I feel like once we have a backfill for Johnson, I'm sure they'll be able to help us out with some of the open source things as well. But for now, we'll just leave it here. Okay, anything else? Alright. thanks everyone for attending, and I'll see you all next month. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Thanks.